Reporting for NEWSRAEL, I'm Dr. Anthony Harper here, blessed to be at the NRB convention in Nashville with Dr. Richard Land. And thank you for joining me.
Yes, sir.
And so your position right now, you're working at which university again?
Well, I'm the president of Southern Evangelical Seminary and Bible College in Charlotte, North Carolina. We were founded 28 years ago by Dr. Norm Geisler. And we offer all of our courses online, a lot of them streaming live. And we've actually had an increase, 11% increase in enrollment this year, and we're very encouraged. Our twin goals are worldwide evangelization and helping people to defend the historic Christian faith. I'm also executive editor of the Christian Post, so I'm busy.
You're really busy.
Yeah.
For a website for the school, Southern Evangelical.
SES.edu. SES.edu.
Okay. I wanted to talk also about the issue, the importance of the bond of evangelicals in Israel matters. So, what does that bond evangelicals have with Israel, and why is it so important right now?
Well, I think there are several reasons for it. One was brought up by Prime Minister Netanyahu the last time he was in the United States, and I thought it was very insightful. He says the United States of America and the state of Israel are the only two countries in the world that are founded on the principles of the Ten Commandments. And he's right.
Yeah.
In addition to that, of course, the Jews are God's chosen people. He's never abrogated his covenant with them. That's why they're back in the land now. He said they would come back into the land. And he says that he blesses those who bless the Jews, and he curses those who curse the Jews. And of course, I want America to be blessed by God. And if America is going to be blessed by God, then we have to bless the Jews. And so I had a reporter, a rather famous reporter, asked me, well, what happens when the national interests of the United States and the national interests of Israel diverge? I said, that's a trick question. That can't happen. Because if we're going to be blessed, if we bless the Jews, then we can't have a national interest that is contrary. You know, I remember as a boy, back in the mid-50s, we were watching a documentary about World War II, and they were showing an airplane flying over Germany after the war with all of the flattened cities and just bombed out buildings. And my mother turned to me and she said, now, Richard, that's what happens when you touch the apple of God's eye. And that's true. I mean, you look at the 20th century, the two most anti-Semitic countries in the world were Russia and Germany. They didn't have a very happy 20th century.
Yeah. Very troubling time that we're in. I know that there's a rise in anti-Semitism. President Trump recently signed this executive order that affects the universities, and a lot of the university campuses have been very anti-Semitic.
Well, what's happened is that the Islamists have spent billions of dollars establishing chairs of, quote, Islamic studies at public and private universities around the United States. And they've turned into propaganda mills that have been propagandizing for the Palestinian cause and against the Israeli cause among our young people. And I've seen this even in Baptist circles where younger Southern Baptists are not as strongly pro-Israel as older Southern Baptists. And the president, it was a stroke of genius, because what he did with his executive order was say to college administrators, you can take the $500 million from the Arabs, or you can take the billions of dollars you get from the federal government, but you can't do both.
Right, what makes more sense, right?
That's right. The arithmetic says they're not going to choose to take Islamic money over the federal government's money.
Yeah, that was a very bold stroke.
It was a bold stroke, and it was very important. And I thought that the criticism that he received that, well, you're making the Jews an ethnic group, is silly. They are an ethnic group. It's a religion, but it's also an ethnic group. Sigmund Freud was an atheist, but he was still a Jew.
Right.
Woody Allen is an atheist, but he's still a Jew.
Wow, there's so much to learn with it. We encourage people to pray for President Trump and all of our leaders. And I witnessed a lot of hostility in the White House, and they need to continue. They need to be praying instead of cursing.
We need to pray for all of our leaders. I prayed for President Obama every day. I pray for President Trump every day. And I believe that President Trump is doing a good job. He's doing a far better job than I thought he was going to do, actually. I voted for him as the lesser of two evils against Hillary Clinton. And, but he's done a better job than I thought he would. He's been a keeper of his promises, which is unusual. And I guess I forgot that he's not a politician. So he keeps his promises.
Right. What made him so attractive was that he wasn't politically correct in that. So how have you been connected with President Trump, maybe an advisory board?
Well, I served on his Evangelical advisory board. And, we met with him from time to time and gave him advice and counsel and gave him our input and answered his questions, and it's been a very good relationship.
Yeah, I had met Dr. Jim Garlow here recently as well, and I don't know if you were at that first week of the Trump administration. There was this inauguration events.
Yes,
going on there.
I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, very special time in history, and I know there was a lot of violence when he became president. When he won this election, there were people overturning cars, setting cars on fire, looting, and whatever. And we got to pray for peace. And
well, there's no one who's more bigoted than atheists, and leftists are right behind them. They do not believe in free speech or for political expression if it doesn't agree with them. We do. We're far more tolerant than they are.
So we're about reporting truth. And
That's right.
People know to know the truth, and the truth will set them free.
That's right.
Of course, we know the truth is really embodied in Jesus.
That's right.
You know, the Messiah is the only one that can bring
He's the
peace.
ultimate truth. That's right.
Yep. And thank you for sharing.
You bet.
And there's a lot to pray about. Once again,
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank
God
you.
bless Israel.
God bless you. Please pray for President Trump, all of our leaders. Pray for Israel. And our nations are so divided. We need so much help. And only the God of Israel can help
Amen.
us.
Amen.
Thank you.